Well, it's Saturday now, folks. I've still got this funky sweater on. It's supposed to be warming up. Well, it will be warming up, and then pretty soon I'll be sweating bullets. But right now, it's still what I'm wearing. I need a new washing machine, so I have to go to a laundromat or wash clothes in the tub. So I need to go to the laundromat. Anyway, the 25th of April. People, thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Also, hey, this is what's up. I'm just waking up. Did you catch the Higgs Corner portion of Stupid Morning Bullshit yesterday? I'll leave the link to the show. It starts about 25 minutes into the show. I was blown away, and it's my show. It's awesome. It is the best part of that show. This is the second Higgs Corner. I mean, I've been on the show 3 times now in a larger sense. I'm on the show every Friday in a 1-minute segment. But we had a pilot last year, hour-long, that they showed once. Then I was in the hour-long special on Valentine's Day. And then yesterday they ran a half-hour special, which was originally supposed to be for Record Store Day. And then we had the pandemic. I was really, really touched by how much work they put into my segment. Post-production-wise, it's really, really cool. It actually brought a tear to my eyes. Talking long distance to the production team as we watched, and afterwards, a couple of them were brought to tears too. It has a lot to do with what I'm saying. It's me. I'm the same, but there's a call-in aspect of the show where they set it up for people to call in and ask questions, and I answer their questions based on records. And then the post-production is what they add to my answers. It's awesome. I'll leave the link. It's like, man. I already know that there will be another Higgs Corner special because we already shot it. I know what it's going to be about, but I'm not going to tell you. But based on the work that they did on this one and the material that they have to work with for the next one, I can't wait. I'll say very, very boldly that it deserves its own spot on Adult Swim. It really does. You know, the rest of the show kind of pales in comparison. You know, you folks at Adult Swim, I know you watch me. You know I don't lie. That's what I think. So, I'll talk about music, but a few other things. Yes, my neighbor, Ray, noticed. He said, you lost a lot of weight, and I have to work on that. It hurts to eat. My teeth are shot. It's my fault. I did not keep up with it. This is because of the way that I smoked pot over the years. It's just the way that the pipe would end up resting in my mouth. My teeth are discolored. But these teeth, and this because of the gum disease, I can only eat to it for a certain amount of time. Then it literally hurts to chew. So eating is a challenge, you know, and I am eating a lot of soft stuff, and even then, okay. But I'm just saying, I'm noticing while I'm watching today, yeah, my neck is all thinned out. I've got to try to eat. I don't know how much I weigh. Thank you for being with me, folks, and just being real with me, because this is not a paid service. This is Dereck sitting in his home. I'm talking to you on the real side. This is my life, okay? And this is what I forgot to mention in the last video. I'm gathering from input that I'm getting from other social media that quite a few of you watchers are people that I actually know, but you never say anything and you're just lurking. Why don't you tell me that you're here, people from my life, from my past, people who I don't see, but I know. And I come to hear, oh, I watch you, I see you, I see what you're up to. Well, that's nice. You know what would be nice is if some of y'all would let me know you're here. I wouldn't feel like I'm up against the world like I do here on Facebook. Dealing with trolls, dealing with smartasses, and dealing with people who want to make my videos about them. That's one of the things about recommendations. It's like some recommendations come across like, this is not a recommendation. This is about you. Get your own goddamn channel. Am I overreacting? It doesn't fucking matter. It's my reaction. See? I'm not worried about being politically correct or right or wrong. I'm me. I'm Dereck. I'm a decent person, basically. But think about it. If you could like, I was looking for a book, but they're not in the book. If you could open the book to each person's life and see every aspect of every person's life, I mean, unashamedly, none of us want that because we're all flawed. So I'm not here, I'll get to some music, pretending to be anything I'm not. I'm a decent guy. But there's parts of me that no one would like. We're all like that. We're human. We're not perfect. Okay? I have prejudices that I have to work on. I sure do. Okay, so Roger Simonson of the VC lives in Lincoln. And he's a friend of mine. I bet you're watching. Hey, Roger. We started to run into each other. Well, we started to notice each other at concerts and shows because we would see each other at the good shows. I forget exactly how we broke the ice, but we became friends. And he sent me some music. He wanted me to have this. He said he had picked it up and wanted to send to me. Airto's album Free on the CTI label. I thought for a minute that I was going to prepare for this and grab my other Airto albums, and I didn't. I have several Airto albums. This man is a monster musician. He's played with everyone. If you've ever seen some of the Miles Davis live stuff, like, for example, I think it's at the Isle of Wight, where they're playing, and it's Keith Jarrett, and Airto's there, and he and a couple of the other band members, to me, are pretty heavily coked for the day, but they're playing their asses off, This is a lovely, wonderful album. Chick Corea, Keith Jarrett, Ron Carter, all those cats are on here. They do a version of Return to Forever, one of my favorite compositions by Chick Corea. The version on here is cool because it's Chick Corea playing it. But they mess with the arrangement just a little bit, which is cool. But I like the original better. But thank you, Roger, for sending this. When Roger sends me stuff, he always puts in extras. They're mainly for protection of the main item, but these extras were cool this time. He did send me one extra item. Thank you, Roger. A certain ratios won't stop loving you. I already have 2 copies of this. One is a 3-inch CD, but I bet Roger already had this, probably got it for next to nothing and just threw it in there for me. And then here is it's called it's an On You Sound remix of Blue Monday by New Order. And it's also got a Bronski beats on here, and I can also see where this is really not very good, okay? Just to be honest, I like On You Sound, but Blue Monday is such a classic song, and that was back when they were starting to do remixes, that a lot of the remixes of that really, they compale in comparison to the original. People had not gotten to the point, in my opinion, where they learned how to remix to the point that it became an art where you could enhance the song. So this is Throwaway. Thank you, Roger. But he threw in a single, which is definitely an addition to my collection. Thank you. Funny how someone mentioned on one of my other videos recently that we're overdue for a new Stevie Wonder album. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But Roger sent me this single from The Secret Life of Plants. Send One Your Love. Stevie Wonder, love him. Instrumental and then vocal version. Stevie Wonder is a wonder. Yes, he is. So, yes, I have more new records to show you from my spending, and it's wonderful. I bought all these records, and I still haven't spent all of the profits from my CD. That really feels good. The other thing is I really do try to, this is part of the secret of this collection is, I'm a bottom feeder. I like that. Jello Biafra, who I ought to give a call and talk to, he and I are collectors, but he proudly describes himself as a record collector, bottom feeder. And he's right. We're like that. We're poor people. We don't have extravagant incomes to throw away on records. It's a very expensive hobby, actually. And so we look for the sales, the cutouts, the throwaways, the giveaways. I've watched an interview where Jello talks about his methodology, which is really close to mine. He'd go into record shops and see where things are marked down, and he'd say, well, no one's going to buy this. I'll wait another week or two and I'll mark it down somewhere. Then I'll get it. I've done the exact same thing because I can't afford. So recently, while being in lockdown and ordering, several times from this one company, people are recommending another company to me to go to. I'm not looking to spend a lot of money. I've just about spent down what I have to spend down. And then it's back to just being frugal. You know what I'm saying? So I've been enjoying these records. So here's one. I've got a few. I won't show them all today. I'm still absorbing them all. I'm really enjoying the fact that I got some new records. Isildurs Bane from Sweden, I'm pretty sure. Got turned on to them many, many years ago. Actually through Craig R. I understand you watch, Craig, but you never say nothing. Do you see this one, Craig? I have this recent Isildurs. This is not their latest album. They've got two more since this one came out. This is 2017, I think it says there. 2018. Off the Radar. I've already played this all the way through once and side one again. Love this. And really couldn't tell from the albums that I have from their past. I have two on CD. I couldn't tell what this was going to sound like. That's the kind of band I like. Very interesting. Hard to describe. This is on yellow vinyl. I like it. I don't have to have colored vinyl. I like it when it happens. I don't remember knowing this was going to be on colored vinyl. They just made an album with Peter Hamill from Vandergraaf Generator, if that helps you. A band that can make a whole album backing Peter Hamill of Vandergraaf Generator. These guys and women, guys is, okay, you know what I mean. These folks are highly skilled and also really imaginative. I'm still having a hard time describing what all is going on here. This is really good. and designed for deep listening. Isildurs Bane. I'm pretty sure that's how you say the name of the band. Very happy to finally get one of their albums on vinyl. Here's one where I have their classic albums, and then you get to a point where it's like you sort of cut off and you stop paying interest or something to that effect. I'm talking about the Italian band Premiata, Forneria, Marconi. One of the best musical bands in the world. This is a recent album of theirs. It's probably still their most recent. I think this came out in 2017. Emotional Tattoos, Premiata, Forneria, Marconi. And what we have here is the drummer, the original drummer, one long-standing member. I was corrected online. People love to correct me. They do. Patrick Givas. I'm pretty sure that Franz de Chiocchio, who is the drummer, is the originator of the band. And then Patrick Givas came in early on, but apparently was not an original member. And these other folks, as you can see, well, maybe you can't see, they're younger. Most of them are younger than the two members, so they have fresh blood. This has elements of the original PFM sound, but it's not that, and it can't be, for a number of reasons. I really like this, and I like what it is now. One thing about fandom, and I deal with this as a musician, one thing about fandom is that there are big blocks of fans get this perspective on you mentally, and they put you in a glass box, and they think they own you. And then they decide what it is you're supposed to do. And this is ridiculous, but it's the way it is. Oh, you don't sound like it's not like the old days. You'll never be as good as. I understand those sentiments, but I understand as an artist that that's bullshit. The artist is a living, breathing being. Things change. People change. It can be hard to accept, but let the artist be the artist. Some artists change well, others don't. Something else I really like about this CD is that it came with CDs, one in Italian language, one in English. And this is also cool that I had never gotten one of these before, where it's a double pouch where it's got a protective divider inside for both CDs. I've never gotten a double. That's kind of cool. So this is a recent edition. I haven't. Okay, I'll tell you this. Yeah, I've listened to all this. It's 4 sides. The slower songs are kind of a letdown. In the past, PFM have recorded some amazingly beautiful, quiet songs. Old Rain comes to mind. For folks that know PFM, Old Rain, right? Whoa, so beautiful. The slow songs on this are kind of dull on first listen. Real glad I got that album though. We're hitting close to 20 minutes, so I'm going to be stopping here shortly, folks. I'll show you at least... Oh, man, I've got all these records. Okay, that's what I've got new. Here's some stuff I played yesterday, because I was moving through grief and anger yesterday. I was grieving Wanda, and I sent her daughter a message. And then the bullshit with Trump and his caustic, dangerous remarks about bleach and Lysol, and then trying to walk it back as just being sarcastic. No, totally irresponsible. Unacceptable. Unacceptable what we're dealing with here because of greed and privilege and people's hearts, people not having hearts. it burns me up. They're not decent. You cannot justify how that man and that behavior is good for the country or the world. So I played a couple of my punk rock records. Damned, Damned, Damned by The Damned. This is a 1977 pressing. It doesn't have the island logo, but this is an original stiff pressing. And I love this album. Every song. Used to do New Rose, and I sang it. We covered it. I have a copy that I've listened to, and it's like it's cringeworthy. But it was punk, and I'm just screaming, I loved playing it. I love this album. Got to see The Damned. They've been in several permutations. I saw them with Dave Vanian and with the Captain Sensible in the band. It was one of those nights when I didn't bother to try and meet people. It was at the Ranch Bowl. I didn't like the Ranch Bowl. So when the show was over, I left. I played that yesterday, and then I took it up another notch. This is truly an amazing punk rock record. It's all sung in Italian, so I don't know what they're singing. I don't need to. I can feel it to my toes. Indigesti. Osservati Dall'Inganno. One of the most exciting punk rock shows I've ever been to. I've been to a bunch. And these guys tore the place up. They were leaping like feet into the air. The whole set. They were on fire. And this album reflects it. The tempos on this album are blazingly fast. But what's cool is that with blast beats and some like speed metal and black metal that's really fast, they established the tempo, and it's going and it's speeding along, and they maintain the tempo, but there's no groove. This is amazing. These Italians groove. It's moving at lightning speed, and yet they lock in and make it groove. It's amazing. This is one of the most incredible punk albums I think ever made. And most of you haven't heard it. I've got the single too. They released a single that's very collectible from the American tour. I have it. Matter of fact, I was so blown away by the band that I approached them to get it signed. None of them spoke English, so I found their manager out. They were scared of me. They're not used to black people. So I had the record, and I'm saying this, hey, and they literally, their eyes bugged, and they moved away from me. Only a small part of me was insulted because I'm already used to the madness of racial ignorance, It wasn't that it was outright racism, it was that they don't know what it's like to be around black people. So someone there helped me find the manager. He spoke a little English, and he explained he wants it signed, and everything changed. It was like night and day. That's why I have no patience for the continuing ignorance and classism and racism that goes on in the world. It's based on wrong, bad information. Once those guys realized I wasn't a gorilla that wanted to beat them up, they practically sat in my frickin' lap as they signed the record, okay? Because they could feel my spirit. Okay, that's enough for today. I love hearing from all of you. Leave your comments, people. I am not doing any requests, okay? If you're leaving requests, I'm assuming you're doing it just to piss me off. I'm not doing any requests.